Hi guys, Patch Drury, board certified hypnotherapist, dream analyst, and Daimon enthusiast. For me, it was really Plato's myth of that really stoked my imagination around the daimon and what it is. And Plato, he wrote a lot about the daimon, and so we should ask ourselves, what did Plato think the daimon was? There's a lot of controversy in modern occult circles if you conflate the daimon with the holy guardian angel. Like, is it a part of you? Is it a spirit that exists outside of you? And so when Plato was talking about the daimon, what did he think it was? And I'm going to answer that question today kind of by reading a couple of passages. The first one is from Plato's Republic, and he says, "The daimonic interprets and carries over to the gods things from men, and to men things from the gods. From the one, prayers, sacrifices, and from the other, orders and rewards for sacrifices. It fills the space between both, and thus binds the all to itself." And so there we see in the Republic, Plato's kind of saying, well, the daimon is something that exists between God and man's between gods and men, and it carries things back and forth between the two. So that would kind of imply that it's this intermediary liminal spirit between God and man. But then in Timaeus, Plato says, "We say that God has given to each a daimon, which inhabits the summit of the body to lift up what is heavenly in us to heaven, away from the earth, being as we are heavenly creatures, not earthly ones." And so there he says the gods have given each of us a daimon, and they live inside of us because it says we're heavenly creatures who are trapped here on earth. And so that description kind of implies that the daimon is inside of us, that it's not this liminal creature that exists between God and man, but it exists inside of man. And so the question becomes, is Plato talking out of both sides of his mouth? Are those two ideas in contrast and conflict with each other? And I would say kind of, maybe. I think what Plato had going for him that most of us in the modern world probably don't have going for us is the ability to hold conflicting ideas in tension and not be destroyed by them. In a rationalistic world that is beholden to the scientific method, we want everything to be measurable, and we want to be able to put a label on everything and put it in its own box and say, this is what this is. This is how it acts. And that's great. That's gotten us a lot. And that's, all of us at different times rely on our rationality. But there are some things that aren't measurable. There are some things that you can't put a label on, and you can't put them in a box. And so when you have something like that, it just kind of floats out there and you're not sure what to do with it. And I would say that's how you begin to encounter the world as enchanted, as bigger than you can get your arms around, as something other, as something unknowable in some ways. And it's to our benefit, I think, to learn to get comfortable with that kind of disagreement in terms. And you see in the occult world, you see a lot of disagreement about what the daimon is. I've had people disagree with me about what I think it might be. And instead of us being so ready to defend our opinion and die on the hill of what we've encountered, I think a majestic agnosticism calls us to be like, well, here's my experience, but my experience isn't everything, so I don't really know, and I'm open to being proven wrong. And you've seen these videos, I've had experiences that might lead me to say, well, the daimon is this, and it's this, and it's this, but all I can really do, honestly, is tell you my experience and not use it to say, here is the concrete dogma of the matter, but instead hold my experiences in contrast with other people's experiences and be okay with that. And so if that sounds like the way you'd like to approach the stuff, then you're in the right place. My intention is never to lay down dogma and say, hey, here's what it is. If you want to be a part of this community, if you want to follow this, subscribe to this channel, then you got to check these boxes. Here's the litmus test for playing along. I don't want it to be that. I want you to, when you come here, expect to maybe be asked to hold some things in tension. Because I think when we hold two things in tension, there's the possibility of a third thing to rise up behind it and say, here's the truth. And of course, when it does, you need to be a little skeptical of that too. Anything that presents itself as truth, be skeptical of, is what I'm going to say there. But at any rate, that's what Plato had to say. That's how I think it can benefit us. And talk to you soon.